Now don't you worry on that count, miss. If it weren't for this, I would still be here for one reason or another. Got a lot of tasks on my to-do list, you know? These parts give me an impression of a place that's in dire need of a couple heroes running around in it. If you get my meaning. It's a lively forest, especially for adventurers testing their mettle. In fact, when your brother approached me, I was already packing up to go collect... Oh. Looks like she fell asleep. I guess I should probably let her rest for now. No more talking for tonight, Rave. Lots of herbs around here. I wonder if I could still get some good ones before we leave. Would love to be able to take care of two birds with one stone. It sure is a lovely night for once. I wonder if they can see the moon back home. Don't think I've ever seen any difference between the moon in Shore's Keep and this one. But it's probably... Who goes? Oh. I'm so silly. It's just you. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you in this darkness. Hello again, Dweller. Hey, wait! Wait! Don't leave! It's me, Rave. Sir, Rave? You remember me, don't you? You helped me get out of a trap some time ago. While I'm glad to see you remember, that sounded suspiciously like an insult there. What? Oh, the girl. Don't mind her, she's just sleeping right now, so I'm trying not to wake her. She's from the village. She got a little lost picking flowers and her brother hired me to come find her, but... well, it got late. So we're making camp rather than keep going in this wilderness. Well, he was just a young little one. It wouldn't have been safe for him to come out here himself. You would know. You've seen what kind of monsters lurk around here. No offense. Hey, why don't you come out of the shadows now? You can warm yourself by the fire if you want. Only don't make too much noise is all. Dangerous? Her? What kind of humans do you have back in your homeland anyway? I mean, I got being anxious around me at first, what with my daring knight prowess and all. Okay, well, I still had a sword. Well, if your people are feuding with the humans in your area, I guess it makes sense you'd be a bit nervous. Okay then. Not nervous, just cautious. But I promise you, it isn't so bad out here, and that girl in particular wouldn't hurt a fly. So come on, I have food. There you go. Make yourself at home. Try some of the stew. I made it myself. It's rabbit and a couple of other things. Should still be hot. Don't mind me moving around. I've got some herbs to gather up before we get back to the village. Oh yes, medicinal herbs. The doctors in the village gave me a list, you see. They're running low on supplies with all the refugees coming through the area lately. Big shame, that. It wouldn't be as big a problem if not for all the bugs and poisonous water in the marshes. But there's no getting rid of it. And these people who aren't accustomed to the environment have to pass right through it to get to... The marshes? That's the border between Dead Willow Stride and Elrisiv. Don't you know it? You had to have come through there when you were fleeing your own home, too. Oh yeah, I guess your people could well have different names for everything. There's been some kind of political conflict, so a lot of Elrisian refugees are fleeing north these days. They get sick or even poisoned in the marshes, and then have to stop here for treatment. It's getting to be a bit more than this little province can handle. But I've been doing my best to help out. Got a nice bag full of leeches last time I came around. Tricky things, leeches. You've got to make sure you're wearing protective gear when harvesting them. I found, anyway. I fell in the water at first, and a couple of them grabbed right onto me, and then it was the worst... Well, never mind. Enough about myself. How have you been in the meantime, Dweller? I see you're looking a little worse for wear since I saw you last. Haven't been getting into trouble, have you? Oh, and how about your quest? Are you any closer to getting help retaking your homeland? Oh. So, what have you been up to then? Spider folk, huh? I've kept clear of that lot. I'm not awfully fond of spiders as it is. Hungry spider humans might be a little too much for me to handle, especially all together like that. Although I like to hope that having human intelligence, they might be more willing to listen to reason than regular spiders. So you've met with them. What do you think? Were they reasonable? Oh, that sounds a bit, well, that sounds a bit unreasonable of them. Why exactly did you seek them out again? I know spiders can be good hunters and all, but I wouldn't think they'd make a good army. A dragon asked you to? You, you should have opened with that! You met a dragon here? In these woods? What does sort of mean? Say, you didn't approach a dragon just because of what I said before, did you? I wasn't thinking that there was actually a dragon around here. I can see you weren't eaten up, or at least if it did eat you, it looks like you got spat back out, but I'd hate if my advice led you into danger. Well, if it was just an accident on your part, that's alright. Not alright, but at least I'm not responsible, yeah? So, how did that go? Were you eaten? You do look like someone who got chewed up. Wait, that didn't come out right. I just meant that your clothes, well, look, you look less fine. It's more of a, oops. Gotta be more careful. The poor thing needs to sleep. Speaking of which, if you're tired too, I do have an extra bedroll. I would be using it, but sleep doesn't come easily to me, so I'd rather keep watch. No? I guess someone with eyes like yours would get around fine at night, yeah? Does that mean you usually sleep during the day, or are you just one of those people that never sleep? That always baffled me, but I guess I'm not one to judge. Anyway, if sleep isn't in the cards for the both of us right now, would you like to stay and keep me company? No getting poisoned by spider folk with me around, right? Why? Well, I like you. I get the feeling that you're a good listener, that's all. Yes, I do have a lot to say, thank you. I think. That was a compliment, wasn't it? Anyway, speaking of thanks, I never got to properly thank you for helping me out before. Want to head back to the village with me? I know you're still busy with trying to save your home, but that's probably going to take you a while, Wars aren't won overnight, I'm afraid. Now, don't get me wrong, you seem capable. I just wanted to... Well, to be frank, I'm pretty concerned. Have been since we parted ways last. It's not your fault or anything, you just set off a couple of my alarm bells. For instance, since this forest isn't your original home, do you actually have a place to stay out here? Any people who are sheltering you? Keeping the bees' nest out of your hair and everything? You look like you're trying not to say no. Is the answer no? I don't want to be pushy, but I think you would be a bit better off taking care of the basics before you start moving up on a quest like that. Get a roof over your head, a good supply of food, that sort of thing. Especially since you've eaten up almost all of my stew over the time we've been talking. And you weren't very demure about it either. You either have bad manners or you haven't been eating much. I guess you could just have bad manners. Look, I'm just saying. Maybe my way of saying thanks for earlier could be to help you take care of those basic things. I've been doing favors for people all across this province. I know a lot of them now. And if you follow us back to the village, I could probably get you set up. Oh, if you're worried about going into a human area, there are a lot of monster folk, that is, creatures like yourself, running about as well. Well, they aren't exactly like you, mind you. Actually, I just realized I still don't know what you are. You've never said, and it's hard to tell by your features alone. Like, did you have a human parent and some other creature as a parent? Or is this what your species is like? You're glaring at me again. Ah, sorry. But you know what I mean. There's plenty of friendly non-humans mixed in. Nothing like the monsters out here who just want to eat travelers for their supper. The spider folk, and the giants, and the water nymphs who tried to drown me when I was collecting leeches. Not to mention the other night, I heard a howling out here from what might be a very vicious wolf. Uh, so, as I was saying, everyone's more used to them than they probably are where you lived. Does that ease your mind a bit? Oh, it doesn't. I'm sorry, huh? You're talking a bit fast for me with that accent, but I think I get you. I'm confused though. If you still don't like human settlements, why would you want to stay with me? You think I clearly need the protection? What is that supposed to mean? I've been doing just fine adventuring by myself. I'm clearly still alive, you know. I was able to hold my breath for almost a minute when I escaped from those nymphs. Alarm bells. Don't you throw that back at me! Alarm bells indeed. Ah, right. Sorry. I don't want to wake up the girl. But it's settled then? Once we're all up and around, we'll head back together? Great. Whether you think you need to protect me or not, I'll do my best to help you. In the meantime, I must admit I'm still pretty curious about what exactly happened with the dragon and the spider folk. Would you care to share that story with me? At least until the girl's awake. Excellent. I'm all ears now. I'll try not to interrupt. Mostly.